Okay,
Perfect.
so yeah. All
I
right, so we get
can't see the
this.
group chat anymore. You can still see the group chat?
Yeah, I can. That's fine.
Okay, can
So
you
I'm
do
going to
the
get this
countdown?
countdown started. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so the targets are going to be quite interesting for this game. I think we'll be seeing the Monk Hunter. I think the Mage or the Priest are viable, but I think they might go on the Priest more just to try and shut him down. Obviously, Nether Tempest is going to mean the Mage is able to get damage out even when he's focused. So might see swaps onto him if he puts himself in a bad position, but for the most part, I think the Priest is going to be the best target. Not too much happening at the start. The Priest just trying to get some dots out, and we do see them going onto the Priest. Monk does use his Flying Serpent kick to get in there. The Priest uses his Fade, and they're dragging the Monk out. The Paladin's just on the Monk Hunter's just trying to stay back, and the Hunter gets put into a full fear by this Siphene, as does the Monk, but that gets dispelled. The God Comp just trying to stay behind the pillar, drag their team back. Paladin really wanting to keep his position there. The Mage does get put into a full paralysis here, and that's not dispellable. Full trap onto the Banana Split here. Hellswap JK is dropping a huge amount right now. Ring of Frost comes out. Banana Split did sit that trap. Hellswap JK forced to actually use his dispersion there, so great start from this Monk Hunter.
Yeah.
Not out of the woods yet for Hellswap, though. Does actually Hellswap onto the Paladin. At the same time, he gets Blessing of Protection, so slight overlap by them there. Wings is out from Banana Split, and Kolak just staying right at the back, keeping his team nice and offensive. Pushed him. They are still choosing to sit on this Priest. Monk does get the kick on that Vampiric Touch there. Mage pushing in to try and get CC on the Paladin, but he does just run behind line of sight. Hellswap JK manages to take a trap there, but still dropping a huge amount. We did see Ring of Peace come out there, and Banana Split forced to use Guardian and Aura Mastery here. Hunter put into a full deep freeze, huge pressure out onto him. Out comes the sacrifice from the Paladin. Not going to be able to be polymorphed. Does get polyed there though, and finally gets out of it with the other sack.
Both healers still get their trinkets, nothing used yet, although there was a lot of pressure going on. And now Nori is again connecting to the Shadow Priest.
We see the Siphene come out from Hellswap, and it does get killed. Hellswap dropping a huge amount here. No real cooldowns left for him now. No pop available just yet. That's going to be up in a few seconds. No dispersion or life swaps. This could be it. He's dropping a huge amount down to 50k.
He will go down.
Out comes the kill because Banana Split was in a Hammer of Justice, unable to get out of that, choosing not to bubble it.
So we actually witness a bit of history, because for the very first time we have a Monk winning a WoW tournament match. So cool. Congratulations to Nori.
Just waiting for them to decide what map they want.
Yes. I will just adjust something from the Arena Live settings, or better said, the plate settings. So just go on for a second until I have it filled. Okay, should be working now.
They want Tolvir.
It was pretty amazing how much damage Nori actually could put out. So
yeah, I was quite surprised, really. I mean, it's not really what we expected, but when he has that much uptime, I guess, with the gear as well, monks are able to just put out a huge amount of damage. He didn't really get healed that much. The only thing that really came out was a Siphene.
The priest nerfs are really noticeable. I think most of the teams yesterday and even today in this match actually focused on priests as the main target, because they seem to go down a lot easier than before. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, their survivability has definitely dropped a huge amount from what it was. They're not really unkillable like they were before. Okay, we need to reset this group.
Okay.
Just because the phasing's messed up again, which is a little bit annoying, but not a lot we can do about that.
Yeah, that's true. I really hope Blizzard will implement a feature to queue these wargames just over Real ID. Would make tournaments a lot easier, so you don't have all this hassle of meeting and everything, and you don't have to have people of all these different factions and stuff like that. So things would be just way easier if they just implemented this very little feature. Would love it.
Yeah, it'd be really useful, especially for things like this. It'd mean more tournaments were able to happen as well, because it's just so awkward when this happens.
A lot is actually going on. For example, I got recently contacted by an organization that does tournaments in the US, and they have like automated tournaments. So you pay a little entry fee, you play, everyone can pretty much participate, and you can win a little
is that
bit
Game
of money.
for Glory?
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah,
it's the next. And also, how is it called? Vatrak told me he has plans for maybe doing a league sometime in the future. So who knows? I really hope more is going on with tournaments, and I really hope the community supports these guys doing the organization and stuff. Because they can need the support, and I think it would be great if the next tournament would come from them, and if the next tournament get bigger and better. So
yeah, definitely.
Tell your friends, tell in trade chat, and get people to log in and to give feedback to the organizers. That's really cool what they do. So, is the phasing working?
Yeah, but my Battle.net's disconnected, and there's someone here for me to walk in, but they don't appear to be a leader of a group. So,
okay,
not really too sure what's going on.
Okay. So, do you think the Godcom can turn it around, or is it just too much pressure on Clove that's coming from the Monk or the Hunter?
For them there is that because the Paladin on the Hunter Monk Pally team was able to just sit in the back and kind of avoid all the CC, the Godcom couldn't ever really get anything going. So I think them choosing Tolvir should help a lot with that, because if they can play at one pillar, the range of the pillars is going to need to push out a little bit. When they leave that mage free, he's going to be able to get those polymorphs out, and they should be able to create a lot more pressure on that map. I think the smaller maps are definitely going to favour the Monk Hunter team.
Yeah, that's true. But also they overlap their defensive cooldowns with the blessing of Hand of Protection at some point, and if they hadn't done it, they would have gotten this one more out.
I think the problem at the end there was no forbearance up. It's just that the Paladin on the God comp was sat in he was sat in the Hammer of Justice, and I think he might have still had his trinket up, but I'm not sure on that. He definitely had bubble available though, so should really have chosen. It'd have been much better for him to use that and bop than to use neither and just lose.
Definitely. So he still had trinket at pretty far into the match. You told me to interrupt you whenever someone does a trinket. We are getting messaged by the organizers. Just a second. We are ready, Dotad. We are ready. Kieran, he's asking. Yeah. You are asking. Okay.
Yeah. Just because Dotad he's here, but he's not leader of a group or anything, so I can't walk in.
Okay, he needs lead. Whispering him that. Okay, he is lead and it still doesn't work?
It's not showing him as leader for me, and I don't have the option to walk in.
Okay, I think Dotad is actually hearing what we are saying, so I don't know why it doesn't work.
My Battle.net has disconnected, but it's only the real ID thing that I can't whisper people, so that shouldn't really be an issue.
Okay. Maybe relog once.
Yeah, okay.
So while that I'm having a look at the chat. And
there we go. Right.
There we go. It's already starting, and we should queue up pretty much.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah. So if we just wait a second now for 2 teams to get in, and then we can zone in. Now just need to move us into group 2 again.
Yesterday it was horrible. I was so focused on them things that I completely screwed it up, and I entered 3 times in a row early. It was, oh my god. Okay.
We should be able to enter now, and then they can just move us
into the second group.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah, what do you think we're going to see in this game? Do you think we're going to see a similar result, or?
Yes. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I think the God Comp didn't play fully to their level, but last match they were really dominated, but they also made a lot of mistakes. So if they can step up their game, I think they have a fair chance of competing here. Also, the map is, as you said before, is much better for them.
Yeah, I think that what happened last time was they just never really set anything up, so they weren't able to, do too much with it. Agent's running across now.
Okay.
Just waiting for Genie to die rather than just use abilities. Okay. So we're going to get this started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so we do see the God Comp going for the middle pillar here. Mage going to be looking to stay back, maybe get his invisibility, choosing not to use that, actually just goes straight in. Looks like they're going to go on the Monk this time by the look of it. Another Tempest out on both of them, dots up onto both of them now. We do see the huge difficulty for HealthSwap.JK to get his dots up here. Fear did come out there, polymorph onto the Hunter when it gets dispelled again, so great job just letting them set up here. HealthSwap's finally got dots up onto Nori here, but looks like they want to go onto the Paladin. Huge dots on him. Out comes the Devouring Plague. Paladin does use his freedom. He looks like he's going to get away. Scatter Trap onto Banana Split. Looks like he's going to be sitting there. Does Trinket that, I think, actually.
Yeah, Trinket.
And we see them still on health. But Power Shot does come out, knocks him away. Not too much damage from it, though, but still just continuing to pump the damage out onto HealthSwap. The Stampede is out right now, and the Fist of Fury came out there as well. But Shake Milk actually just soloing the Paladin. Deep freezing actually forces his bubble on his own here. So the Cleave going back to peel him, used his Blazing Speed to get away from the Monk and the Hunter, and looks like that's going to go for a reset here. They have got that Paladin's bubble now, so if they can get him into a really good spot, they're going to be able to kill him. Out comes the Fear into Nori, but it does get dispelled, and then he gets Hammer of Justice off that. Does then put his Transcendence down, so he's going to be able to portal away if he needs to. And not too much happening right now. Out comes the Siphene from HealthSwap. Does fear Nori with Fist of Fury into a really bad spot now, so he could be swapped to right now in a very vulnerable spot. But they are choosing to go on Farid Bangai. Full polymorph sat there on the Paladin. Does choose to Aura Mastery now. Gets put into a half polymorph there. Still a bit of damage coming out to Farid, nothing too much. Nori, Flying Serpent kicks, gets a full paralysis on the mage. He has to sit there, unable to get out of that. Nova onto out comes the Devouring Plague into a deep freeze, which does get trinketed. Blanket silence on top. Overlap both silences actually. He's hit the spread, and he might be able to survive here.
Oh yeah.
So out come the Guardian heals, and Farid Bang's still quite low here, so if they can get some damage out onto him, more CC on the Paladin, then they're definitely going to be able to get a lot of pressure here, but the Paladin, with his Guardian, able to just pick him up quite easily. Fear onto Nori there, but it does get dispelled again.
The God Comp really turned the match around this time. You can really see how this new map is really helping them, and I think they have tournament jitters, like you get nervous for the first match. And now there's the pressure back on the Paladin, back on Kollega. He now got blanketed. And he's
looks
really
like he's
low.
going to be fine though, gets away. Banana Split did get scattered out there, but HealthSwap mana did get the Master Spell, but huge pressure out from this God Comp, not really letting the Paladin pick up. Out comes Touch of Karma onto the Mage, I believe that was, from Nori. Nori unable to die for the time being, all the
And
damage being
Farad
redirected.
is
Out comes the
nearly
paralysis
down.
onto Shake now.
Nori
Farad line of
is really
sighting with the
down.
Paladin and just letting him pick up Nori.
Oh,
Doing huge damage to
but
health swap though.
health swap.
Might see the Disperse come out now. Out comes the Disperse. There's a scatter trap onto Banana Split right now. Looks like he might have to trinket that. He does trinket. Trying to put out those heals onto health swap. Might see a Blessing of Protection come out now. Out comes the Hand of Sacrifice. Koleg is not having too much happen to him. Does get put into a full sheet right now though. Nori having to run away. Comes back into the fight now. Farad Bang sitting about half, going behind the pillar. He's got the Devouring Plague and the Shadow Fiend up on him. Killer Guy's just trying to catch up right now. Gets taken on cast actually by that counterspell. And Farad into a deep freeze. Does trinket out of that. Might see a deterrence come out of him, but he might just go down here. Pretty low. Out comes the Ring of Peace from Nori, so going to be silencing the Mage. Mage Shape Mode was actually forced to set a trap there, I believe that was. Nori doing a huge amount of damage to him now, but line of sighting is Paladin. Just outside of sight. Out comes the Fist of Fury, but not enough to stop the kill. So I think that game was definitely better from the God comp there. I mean, the Hunter and the Monk, I think they let the Mage free too much that game. I mean, he forced the Paladin's bubble solo, so that's never a good position for them to be in, really.
I think there was a huge improvement. I really think they were nervous during the first match. So if you look now at the damage done, it's incredible. They did so much more damage than the other team. It's and the Paladin Kollega had to heal a lot more. So turn around. But now the map choice is again on Flavor of the Month setup with Nori, and I'm sales at once, and it's a pretty wise saying. If you win the first match, you have a huge advantage. It's the most important match to win, because after that you always have the map advantage, and you only have to win on your maps. So it's okay for them to lose the second game, because they now have a map they can choose, and they can choose something like Ruins, where they can really go in fast and keep the pressure going. What do you think they will choose?
I think we'll see something like Ruins for them, just because it's a much more open map. It means the Hunter's constantly got line of sight on the Priest. He's not really going to be able to, pillar away and force them to push in that much. It's going to mean that the Paladin on that team can just play back a lot more. I think they need to focus on shutting down that Mage a little bit more than they did, though. I think they let him free too much, getting too many polymorphs out. And, just overall let them get too much pressure. I do think we need to make the group. Just because the phasing doesn't seem to have worked again. So it's going to get that restarted. And then I think I need to restart. I'll just go back to that again.
Yeah, maybe. I will just use the time to post again on Arena Junkies that we actually did start. By the way, all the video for the tournaments from yesterday are on, so you can witness the horror of me casting without an interface and completely alone in this world. Was the most nightmarish experience I think I ever had with anything World of Warcraft related. Okay. And I think it's amazing, like most tournaments, they take forever to put anything on YouTube. So for example, Yas presents really high budget tournaments, super organized, but they didn't manage to bring anything on YouTube. So you can only click through their Twitch TV history, and I think it's always annoying to do that. And
yeah, I mean, sometimes when you're not able to catch the tournament live or anything, and you just want to catch up on the games, you don't want to spend half an hour flicking through an 8-hour VOD just to find the actual games.
Exactly. So because it's always like you don't normally want to watch every game. So if you're catching up, you just want to watch the matches you really like, perhaps the people you know or you favor. And this is one of the points where this tournament is super professional. Matches are up really like 4 or 5 hours after the tournament has ended, and that is huge. It's really great. So you can actually, I got asked how the channel is called, and instead of trying to insert a link into the chat that is not working, you can go into the Arena Junkies homepage, and there it is linked. And there's a news thread called This Weekend Tournament and Rogue Podcast, and there in that is a link of the matches of the YouTube channel.
Okay, so yeah, they're actually going to choose Dalaran, so
Oh,
not ruins, but it's still quite a small map, and I think if they play with the explosive trap, that's definitely going to help them a lot.
Yeah,
Plus, not
that's
to
true.
mention, with the monk they have the flying serpent kit, and that will actually carry them from one box to the other box. So if the monk needs to, he can just get out really quickly. Obviously, disengage is just going to put him back in the box as well. So I think if the Cleave team need to, they're definitely going to be able to pull back on this map rather than the other map where it's just a little bit more difficult for them to get out.
True, definitely true. Good choice for the map. So I'm still looking where I can set the class icons, show class icon for tidy plates. Lovely. Okay.
I mean, obviously the players are still going to be trying to adjust a little bit because obviously this is going to be the first arena that that they're really doing since the patch. Obviously, won't have that much practice against monks yet because there weren't really that many high monks last season.
One organizational thing: they have to stop below the pillar, below the stairs, at the bottom. I hope Dota tells the other team that they really have to not touch the stairs. They have to go into the ground completely. Okay. I can't see the chat anymore because I turned on the UI. So you have to do the countdown again.
They're saying, wait a sec. Just going to see what that's about. Okay. Alright, so we're going to get this countdown started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Predictions. What do you think
will
take it?
I think this is a game that can definitely go either way. We do see Priest pushing out into Paladin's line of sight early, pulls back a little bit, puts the siphoning down, which does get killed by Farid Bang Eye. So he then puts a silent shot onto the Paladin, going for the scatter track now. Out comes the scatter. Should see a master spell come out. There it is, but it does actually get the explosive trap as well. So Paladin's in a really bad position right now. That was the mage that was knocked down. Paladin's put into a web stun. Health swap taking a huge amount of damage with the Stampeder. Out comes the Ring of Frost. Health swap does jump down just to line of sight some of that damage, so he's going to be fine now, going to get picked up. But we do see the mage going, looks like he wanted to do something on the Paladin there, but he does freedom himself behind the pillar. The monk and the hunter just swapping onto the mage. Mage does blink out. Priest pushes in there, so it looks like it's getting a fit. It does land it on the Paladin, and looks like they're going to want to set up off him. There's the deep freeze onto him. Does choose to sit there. Looks like out comes the Science. Might have to bubble here. Out comes the shield wall from the Paladin. But he is just going to lie aside. Going to be fine. Health swap pushing in hugely here, though, taking a huge amount of damage. Paladin going to have to use wings to try and catch him up. Does get put into a web stun. Might see it disperse. Out
he just goes down.
Just dies anyway.
Oh, yeah, he was way too offensive in that situation.
Yeah, definitely. What we saw happen there was he dispersed at less than 10%, and then the monk execute ability, which is actually called Touch of Death, just kills the target if they're below 10%. It ignores dispersion. So, pushed in too much there, and that's where playing too offensively really costs you the game.
So definitely a match. I think the Godcom could have taken them in another map, but this map...
I think they had a lot of pressure on that map as well. I think the Priest just played too offensively.